Hey there, my friend. It is a nice morning in the woods of Western Washington, and it's going to be a good day today. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I've been telling you about, in a series of videos, this weird book I found. It was actually in the free pile at the local library. It was a book sale that I just pulled over unplanned and just checked out. And I found this book, Living in Balance, A Guide to Living in Balance by Dr. Caprio. The book immediately fell apart. It is as old as I am. I'm in better shape than the book, I'm happy to report. But the book was very strange. I'm not going to lie to you. No offense to Dr. Caprio and his work here. I just did not enjoy it. It was a lot of it seemed a lot of dated psychological material. Threw around the word neurotic a lot more than we probably would today. And we know a lot more about the mind and psychology today than we did when this book was written. This edition from the early 70s, but I think it was written before that. But there was one chapter worth saving, and it's chapter 10. I've been going over that with you video by video because there's 9 points that he makes, 9 ways to help us avoid what he called nervous fatigue. Today we would call it burnout. That's a common terminology for this. We don't call it nervous fatigue anymore. We might call it fatigue. We might call it anxiety. We certainly would call it burnout. In other videos, I did points number 1, which was do not exceed your fatigue limit, which was a good tip. And then number 2 is observe moderation in everything we do. Now we're on to number 3, okay? Develop the art of relaxation. And this is possibly one of the most important ones because it's a big theme that runs through many of the points in the book and in this chapter. And it's something that I try to incorporate in my life as well. I think we don't relax enough. I think most of the stress in Western culture anyway comes from just go, 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 never knowing when to stop, never knowing our limits, and we keep pushing ourselves to the breaking point because we don't know when to stop. We know when to stop, we just don't stop. We have all the signs of when we're supposed to stop, and we ignore them most of the time. They lead to anxiety. They lead to mental health deterioration, physical health deterioration. It could lead to mental breakdown. It could lead to all sorts of other things. So let me read to you here from this chapter, Nervous Fatigue. In the third method he gives to avoid nervous fatigue, or what we would call burnout today, goes like this. Develop the art of relaxation. Work in rhythm by learning to do things well in the easiest way. You relax while dancing, or else you're an awkward dancer. Why not learn to relax while working? This sounds very Alan Watts. I like it very much. Remember too that haste makes waste. Take things in a natural stride. An interval rest period, when possible, is helpful. It gives your mind a breathing spell. Don't talk shop during lunch hour. When you come home, forget what happened at the office. Learn to lock up your troubles in your desk's drawer with your unfinished work. This is so important because so many people go home with their problems from work. They carry it into their family life. It affects their relationship if they have a spouse. If they have children, it affects everybody in their circle. And then rinse and repeat. They go to bed angry and resentful about all the stuff that went on at work. And it just permeates their personal life. Okay, so this is very important. There's always tomorrow. Feed your mind pleasant thoughts. Develop a hobby. It relaxes overtaxed nerves. Occupational boredom is another cause of fatigue. Working at something you don't particularly like or are not fitted for gives rise to mental stagnation. This goes back to something I talk about all the time on my Hughes from the Heart podcast, and that is do what you love, if at all possible, at any given moment. This is what Bashar says as well. Try to achieve your highest level of excitement in any given moment. Whatever options you have at any given moment, try to pick the one that brings you the most excitement, the most joy. If you must continue at this work because of its compensations or because no other job is available, then plan your recreation to recover from the monotony of the work. If yours is a sitting job, seek your recreation in tennis, golf, gymnastics, swimming, dancing, hiking. If your job requires constant use of your arms or legs, then seek rest through bridge, the theater, automobile riding, or reading a book. It isn't because you spend 8 to 10 hours a day working that you are exhausted. It is because you exercise the same few muscles all day long. This is really good stuff. With neglect of the other muscles of your body. The monotony of mechanical living, doing the same thing day in and day out, coming home, eating, feeling tired, going to bed early, is bound to have a demoralizing effect. Long rest in bed is rarely demanded. 8 hours of sleep and change from the day's monotony is what you need for happy, healthy living. Recreation is psychological medicine. This does not mean that you must play every day and every weekend. Some hours must be spent in personal chores, quote unquote. But some diversion every week is desirable. Often planning for that trip, that party, or that sport brings as much pleasure and relaxation as the event itself. It is the breaking away from the grind, exercising dormant muscles, and refreshing one's thoughts that brings healing rest. Gosh, if the rest of the book were as good as chapter 10, I'd read you the whole book. I mean, I'm ready to toss this book out because it's broken. It's not in any shape to be donated to the next person. I usually like donating books. I hate throwing away books unless they're in completely bad shape like this. But in the next video, we'll go over method number 4 to avoid burnout and what he called nervous fatigue. This from the book, A Guide to Living in Balance by Frank S. Caprio, medical doctor. This edition from 1973, and it looked like it was in good shape when I got it for free, and then I opened it and cracked the spine, and it's all in shambles here. But a great chapter in an otherwise kind of weird and awkward book, I think. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for helping me hit 500 friends here. I rather call them friends than followers. I'm not asking you to follow me. I'm just asking you to be my friend here. And I appreciate you very, very much. Take care. Onward to the next 500, and then we can live stream when we're on TikTok. Looking forward to that.